Hello, my fellow Dunning-Kruger geniuses, I'm Mr. Church. Today we're going to be taking a peek in the item shop at the new Blooming Haze Bundle, and we'll be discussing some other funny stuff, looking at some other return items, and jiggling a little bit. Now, before we go into the item shop stuff, I want to remind you guys that it is the second week of the mini-season Appalachian Outlaws, and so there's a second week of challenges to do in the game. You have to come in here, claim this money bag backpack for 0 tickets. Then you can go and put the skin on your backpack and then do the challenges, and you'll get tickets for doing the challenges. You don't have to do the challenges. You can still use your tickets and claim this stuff, but keep in mind that if you use your tickets on this stuff, you'll have fewer tickets to claim the stuff on the actual season pass, which is all part of their plan, because then you'll have to buy, levels with your money. If you do the challenges, you'll be able to recuperate your losses if you want to grab these things, make some inappropriate pig stuff. I don't know, that's just something to be mindful of. But now let's look at the Blooming Haze Bundle. Now, today was supposed to be the new seasonal event with blooming flowers and the bees and beelzebub and stuff, but they had to push that back because they want to fix some bugs with it, so that's pretty interesting. We'll see what happens. If the bugs are fixed, then I don't mind them pushing it back. What are the chances that that's gonna actually be fixed? Well, we'll see. I guess we'll see. Anyway, the Blooming Haze Bundle, it includes the polluted player title prefix, the dig it emote, the mulch barrel, that's a massive, the ghoul male player icon, the poisoned earth well, the ghoul female player icon, the weather control station, hello? Oh my god. Guys, well, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 items. 4 pictures. And I know what you're thinking. Well, that's because they don't have pictures of the other stuff. Then what's this? Then what's this then? Then what's this then? What? Anyway, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. So let's look at the stuff in the game. First, we have, of course, the polluted player prefix. Now, to put this on, you're just going to go into your Pip-Boy. You're going to go into the statuses, tab all the way over to the right, equip that in there. If you're on a team, you'll be able to see your title that you have after your name, and people will see it above your head and stuff like that. Pretty fun, yeah. Now, the dig it emote. This thing is pretty interesting because you know how it looks like this? So that's a pretty informed decision that you can make there. Now, with every single emote that you get, if you buy an emote or unlock one from a season pass or something, it doesn't automatically equip it. You have to go into the item shop, go to emotes, find it, and then click on it to select it. And that'll add it to your quick wheel thing, your emote wheel. And then you have to find it, and then that's fine. And it looks like this. There's some weird sound effects with it, and then I'm not really digging. I'm like kind of like sliding the back of my shovel over something. That's fine. That's fine. This is interesting. It's kind of, I don't really, okay. Well, there's something you could buy with money. Now, the mulch barrel is actually pretty cool, in my opinion. If you look closely, it's clearly rusted metal. That's what it is. It's the shape of one of those plastic barrels, but it's clearly rusted metal. It costs a piece of plastic to make it, so that's pretty interesting. But who cares about that? I think it actually looks pretty cool as an item. I don't mind it. I thought it was going to be like a stash box or something, because they say something about, I'm not sure if it's actually mulch, best not to lift the lid. So that would be cool if it was like a stash box, and when you interacted with it, the lid opened, you could see something nasty in there. But that would be too much work. They've never been able to do something like that. But, so it's just a floor decor item. I don't care. I think it's pretty cool. It's not that, it's like 200 items. It's not that bad. Now, the ghoul male and female player icons, This is just what they look like in the item shop, in the store. You can put them on, you can have them. I don't really give a hoot about this stuff, guys. Now, the Poisoned Earth Well. This thing is kind of pricey if you buy it by itself and not in the bundle. Even this Fouled Well can serve a purpose. Double space. Generates acid, dirty water, and nuclear waste. This item cannot be built inside of a shelter. They can't build this inside of a shelter because it's a collecting device, and they forgot how to make an identical floor decor item version of this that you could place in your shelter, even though they've done it before with Butterfly Sanctuary, for example. And they could do that if they wanted to, but it's too much work and they're lazy. But it's a pretty cool item. I think it looks pretty cool. Now, it has to be placed in dirt, unfortunately. That is a bummer. I don't know why it has to be placed in dirt if it's a chunk of concrete. If you put this on the floor in your house, it would just look like, oh, the pipe goes through that slab of whatever into the ground, you know? I don't know why it needs to be placed in dirt. That's pretty annoying. Now, there is a way to get items like this to be placeable not in dirt, but it takes a little bit of effort, but it will allow you to place stuff like this in like floating camps or sky camps, or camps that there's no actual dirt in, like if you're building somewhere where there's just not soil. So I got this from Hop Along Tom in my Discord, and I've been able to tweak it a little bit. I think I saw Thor, Odin's daughter, who I've had on the channel before with the floating sky camp method video. I saw her using hay bales for it. I was originally using planters, but it works the same way. So you're gonna get underneath the map, and there's a few ways you can get under the map. I'm just gonna do it the easiest way I can, build a platform down here, and then you're gonna find a way to get the hay bales to kind of like line up with the surface of the earth above. And that way you can place the hay bales underneath the well. Once you have the well in place, you place the hay bales underneath them so that the hay bales are touching the bottom of the well, but they're not like intersecting. And then you're gonna blueprint the hay bale and the well. Now, if you blueprint these two items together, the game will decide, oh, it is placed in the dirt after all. And so then you can place it in anywhere. You can place this blueprint wherever you want. And because of this, you'll be able to place this anywhere, even in a sky camp where there's no soil, or a camp that you know, maybe you have foundations all over the whole thing. There's nowhere to place it. And then, of course, you can use the camp module to reverse merge it if you want to float it up somewhere. And then you could sink this hay bale down into the ground if you wanted to, or you could float it up through like a top floor, an upper floor, something like that. So there's ways to get it by itself if you wanted to float it and put it on some other surface and not on the hay bale, if you know what I mean. Now, after showing you that overly complicated and convoluted way to sort of do something in this game, as I like to do on this channel, I think it's a good time to mention that a few days ago, Bethesda asked in their Discord, they made a post asking what people thought about the camp building restrictions. What do you think about the relaxed restrictions in custom worlds? What do you want to see them in adventure mode? And they made a poll, and overwhelmingly, obviously, everyone said yes, we would love to have that in adventure mode. And I also said that. I said, why don't we have them in adventure? Why is it a question? Not sure. Some clowns did say no for no reason that I can deduce. Like, oh no, now that stuff is easier, suddenly I can't have creativity, and somehow I can't make impressive structures now that it's easier to. That makes no sense. I'll have more time to spend on making the structures even cooler because I won't have to devote 90% of my time to getting objects to float in ways they wouldn't otherwise. I just, that's interesting. You know, and it's usually those people that are accusing me of gatekeeping, even though my entire channel is showing tutorials on how to do stuff. That's pretty interesting. The nice thing about that is, you know, when you get mad and rage quit the game because now suddenly other people can make cool camps, there will be a job for you at the circus. You can juggle, you know? that could be something fun. I hope that means that within soonish, it'll be a lot easier to build in this game. So that's something to look forward to. I'm pretty excited about it. And it's going to mean that camp building is going to get a lot better. Now let's look at the weather control station, Blooming Haze. Now, when I first placed this object down and turned it on, I thought that it was spewing forth pollen, because it says, who doesn't love the smell of hazy pollen in the morning? And the thing is, why is this spraying pollen, but the player title that we got isn't pollinated, it's polluted? Those aren't the same, those don't mean the same thing. Pollinated is good. So, like, here's how it works. Pollen, like, think of it as vitamins and minerals for the plants, okay? Pollution, usually bad for plants. Pollen, good. Pollution, bad. Okay, so polluted, no, that's wrong. Pollinated is probably what you meant to say, I think. I don't know. Could be anything. Could be anything at this point. It is like greenish. I don't really see green pollen. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. And I think the actual like design of the weather station itself is pretty cool. There's little painted flowers on it. I like it. It's kind of cute, actually. But this is what it looks like in different biomes. I went to different areas. The ash heap looked pretty smoggy. I didn't really like it. It was just kind of foggy, like you couldn't really see anything. And it didn't look like a pollen either. It just looked like haze you couldn't see through. And it's kind of the same in the mire. The mire was just like the mire, but worse, you know? And, because I've always thought, the visuals are too clear in the mire. Let's make it worse. The Toxic Valley also looking a little smoggy too. So I wanted to test it in these areas because they're not very vegetative, or like the mire is vegetative, but kind of dark and kind of greenish already. So I wanted to see what it would look like in those areas. And I also tested in the Skyline Valley, because the Skyline Valley has its own weather that's like this weird yellowish gray overlay to everything. So I wanted to see how that would look. And it just kind of looks in those areas, in my opinion, kind of weird. I don't know. I don't really like when I can't see stuff, so I always put the clear weather station in my camp. But in the forest, like in my main camp here where I'm showing stuff, it's not that bad. It just looks like pollen to me. I don't mind it in the forest, but in these other regions, I don't like it as much. But I'm going to show you, because then you can see, oh, maybe you do like it. I don't know, because maybe I just don't like weather. I just like sun only. Who knows? And the last item in the bundle is the steel silo. This thing is pretty interesting because it says you can never have enough silos, and then there's actually no build limit on it. You can make as many as you want. I kind of like it. It's not a prefab really, it's just a chunk. So you can just kind of, like, you can't like, there's not like a way to build in it. Well, maybe there is. But it's pretty nice. It's pretty forgiving. What it looks like broken is kind of cool. And remember, keep in mind, if they give us these relaxed building restrictions like are in custom worlds now, it means that you could like break it and work and build inside it, and it would look really cool. Like you could integrate broken stuff into your camp much easier than you can now. Like there's ways to, but you have to do a bunch of other goofy stuff. You can place these down on top of foundations, and you can also snap foundations through them. You can also build inside it if you get a way to, like put something interactable up against it. Like I put this cooking station on a carpet, put the spoon up against the wall. When I interact with the spoon, it puts me inside it. You could decorate it in here, make a little house, make a little room. You can just walk out the door to get out. I put this door up against this one. I don't know, you could put the way to get in behind this door. I don't know, there's like different stuff you could do with it. There's a big space inside it if you wanted to work with it. That's just something weird you could do if you wanted to. I'm not saying you should or could, or like, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want. Also, it's kind of weird because it looks transparent in the building menu. Like you can see through it. I don't know why that's the case. I've never seen that before. But let's look at also the Greenery bundle. This isn't a new bundle. This is old items that are being bundled newly so that they can put the new tab on it. Did they actually do that? Yeah, they did, of course. But it's not new stuff. Don't get it twisted, guys. This includes the fall shrub, the toxic ivy, light vines, bush, summer elm trees, fern, tree sap collector, large brown pine tree, medium brown pine tree, vines, medium green pine tree, heavy vines, tall grass, pine tree, stumps, large green pine tree, dead shrub, spoiled apple tree. Whoops, we got that one right. I don't like the apple tree because look it looks plastic. There's no just stops. I don't know. That's weird looking. And I think it collects rotten vegetables. I could be wrong there. This thing, because they don't say anywhere, I thought I should mention, collects adhesive, which is actually useful. So, and also you can't see what this looks like because they just have a picture of the trunk. It's a tree. It's a tree though. It's a whole tree. The stumps are pretty cool in my opinion. The vines are really nice. You can use the vines to make free place walls. Vapid Valentine is the first person I saw doing that. I'm going to link her video in the description if you want to check it out. But you can make a blueprint using the vines, and then you can have the vines by themselves or the wall by themselves using the vines. But keep in mind, again, if they relax building restrictions, we won't need to do these stupid things either. We can just place stuff down. Wouldn't that be weird if, like, you wanted to build your camp and you just could? That'd be so weird anyway. But the vines are pretty cool. I think a lot of these bushes are actually pretty nice because there's different ones for different regions of the map. But they do have, they are a little bit annoying. For some reason, these bushes you can't place stuff in. So you have to place that, then somehow get the bush in that spot. But they're pretty cool. And there's different ones for the different regions. But keep in mind that a lot of these items, especially the trees, bulldoze the ground underneath it. You can see in this picture more clearly. That's been bulldozed by the tree, a square around it. So what's the point of getting a bush that deletes the grass around it? Why do you can see it in all these pictures. So like you gave us a bush that deletes the other bushes. Because I'm trying to, most of the time, here's what I would use bushes to like make something look overgrown, okay? Not make it look like the haircut that Stan Lee gave to Thor in Ragnarok. You know what I mean? So like, why is the ground looking that way? We don't know. Why does the fern need to bulldoze grass around it? No clue. Because I guess you don't want the grass touching the fern. This isn't like our peas and potatoes situation. They can touch each other. They can touch it. It's fine. You know, I can understand why like foundations and stuff bulldoze stuff around it because I don't really want grass growing up through my floors usually. They still do. But I don't get why bushes and trees need to bulldoze. Why do I not want grass by my tree? I do want grass by my tree. I want grass and by the bushes too. Anyway, that's annoying as hell. I hate it. So that's something to keep in mind if you are wanting to get this bundle. The greatest hits, these are the greatest things that I've ever hit. Like your mom, we've got Backyard Garden Bundle. This thing comes with the Keeper outfit, clean white picket fences, the Keeper helmet, Vault Boy lawn gnome, white picket fences, chicken coop, rainwater collector, powered lawn flamingo, and the hay bales. Wow. So the first thing I wanted to point out is the picket fences are nice. You can find them in defenses. And there's the clean ones and the dirty ones in this bundle. There's just like, I don't know. I don't really use the picket fences themselves. What I do use, though, are the posts from the picket fences, specifically the dirty one. You can stack them up and make like posts, like support beams with them. So they're pretty useful in that instance alone. We also have this goofy ass outfit called the Keeper outfit. I'm not sure what we're keeping. What are we keeping? It's not a beekeeper outfit. I don't know what it is, though. We've got what seems to be an 8-track player. We've got cigarettes taped to our shoulder. Some kind of NOS for our car so we can get home faster. We've got some weird snowshoe bolted to one of our shins. And then the best part is we have no hair. This helmet made us look like a Lego minifigure, bald as hell. I hate it. I hate it. Why does this outfit exist? Guys, I bought this right with money. Oh shit. It's fine though, because anyway, another thing to point out is the chicken coop. This makes poop. It makes fertilizer. And it's just like the rabbit from last week, which was Easter. Also, let's not forget it was also the St. Patrick's Day. What was it last? I don't know. Whenever they gave us the bunny stuff, they gave us the bunny in the cage. Those share the same whatever. So you can only build one or the other, and they collect the same thing. So if you already have the bunny, you know, do you really need a chicken coop? I don't know. They do look cool broken, I will say that, but they cost corns to rebuild. So that's annoying as well. This bundle also includes the hay bales, which I just showed a good use for, but they're also really good items just for decoration, and for, you know, just kind of making stuff look kind of scrappy or used or lived in or whatever, especially in the farm vibes that we have in this game. And the other thing I thought I'd mention is there's 0 pictures of the Vault Boy lawn gnome. Isn't that so interesting? So yeah, you guys can just guess what it looks like, because I can't be bothered to take a picture of it, but you could buy it with money. Hey, what if you give us money and then I'll give you a mystery item? Not even one clue of what an idea of what it'll look like. How about that? So I bought this so I could see what it looked like, and this is what it looks like. It's fine, you know. It's a nice little clutter item, I guess, if you want it. It's like little. It's not like, it doesn't really look like a gnome. It's just like a Vault Boy, you know. It's just a little Vault Boy. But why is this impossible to take a picture of? You know, does he not hold still for you? What's the issue? What's the fuck? I don't, guys. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. No, I'll do your job for you. That's all right. I like it. I like to. Let's look at something else. The Greenhouse Kit and Porch Bundle. Now, this is actually a fan favorite building kit. And this bundle comes with a bunch of other stuff. Like this guy who's got this little thing sticking up. What is that? It's a banana, I think. This, which looks like they forgot to put the textures on it. This, which goes on the wall and then sinks into some of the walls. This, which is fine. This, which is whatever. This, which you can't put mail in. And these porches, which I don't really like the porches, I'll be honest with you. But this is one of the best building kits in the game. So it is worth thinking of, especially if you want to build cleaner builds or especially like modern house designs. This is really useful for that. A lot of people will use these half wall things stacked up. So it's just like a big, like this, a big square of window, and it looks pretty nice. But yeah, that is something that I thought I'd mention. There's also the Deathclaw Topiary, which in 2019, they accidentally let us claim for free. And I don't know if that's free now, because I already own it. So you guys can let me know if this is free for you, if you have to pay for it. Because that is weird. This is a Ranger jumpsuit. It doesn't, I don't think, come with this helmet. What if it did, though? I don't know, because it doesn't say. And I already bought one stupid outfit, so it's really hard for me to justify buying a second one. See how they're not wearing the helmet in this one, but they are in this one twice? So that's confusing. Enjoy the great outdoors in this Ranger's jumpsuit. So, like, obviously, it wouldn't make any sense for this to be included. So also, why are they wearing a crash test helmet? Why are they wearing a crash test helmet with it? Twice, if that's not... Anyway, please. This is another bundle with some dookie in it. But I thought I would mention that I'm pretty sure this is Under Armour, which means you will only see this if you're not wearing any armor. So that's something you could do. This is a nice door. I like it. This also has the hay bales in it if you didn't want the other bundle and you wanted to get the hay bales. Now, this bundle also comes with the red barn, which is a pretty cool prefab because it has the barn set that we, you know, for some reason we're never given in this game, and we're given the hideous one instead. I don't get that. But anyway, it also comes with this really cool door. Now, Game Badger found a way to place this door separate from the prefab, and I found a way to kind of tweak their blueprint and like another way to place it. And then I also show a build that you can do with it if you like cool stuff but also hate yourself a lot. And that's something that you could do if you got this. So I don't recommend it at all. But again, keep in mind, if they give us relaxed building restrictions, this is a really cool door to chuck on some builds that you would then be able to do, because we wouldn't have to do all these weird voodoo shit to get our stuff placed in adventure mode. This also has the bucking bronco, and if I told you how people use this and merge it into beds, then something would happen to my channel's monetization. This is a picture showing this wallpaper. I actually use this wallpaper quite a bit. It's kind of nice, just kind of, you know. And then this also comes with the summer elm trees, but not the winter, fall, or spring elm trees, which is kind of interesting. And now that I mention it, the Greenery bundle I showed before only has the summer ones as well, but there is actually a bundle that has summer, winter, fall, and spring elm trees that are all these trees, but at different seasons, obviously. So if you like the elm trees, there are different versions of them, and they're not in either of these bundles, I just realized. So if you're waiting around for that, they're not in these bundles. This is a crochet mallet for your sledgehammer. And this is the quack outfit. This is actually the original version of the outfit you get if you do the ghoul questline. And the ghoul questline doesn't have a weird hat with it, but it has a better version of this outfit. It's just a recolor of it. It's like gray, and it doesn't have a hideous... This has a nasty blood eagle painted on the back of it. When I say blood eagle, it's just a splash of big red paint, which the one from the Ghoul Quest doesn't have. So I just recommend go do the Ghoul Quest and don't buy this. And in special offers, we have the cat topiary, also accidentally for free in 2019. So I don't know if this costs you anything. Is this free, guys? Let me know, please, in the comments. And then, of course, we have the daily special. This is going to be in the shop for one day. It's pretty cool, actually, and I would get it if the broadsider actually did damage, but I've actually shot a super mutant in the face with one of these before, and when it should have been doing 6,000 damage, and I saw it bounce off his face and literally take a sliver of his health. So I'm not using this ever again, but it does look pretty neat, doesn't it? But every day they're going to have a different item here for 50% off what it normally would be for 24 hours. And I'm going to put a list of the items that's going to be there this week on the screen. And some of these items, you know, we know what they are. The car bed, how nice is that? We know what that is because they put it in pictures for other stuff, you know, that's completely unrelated to anything else. So what was it again? This one? Yeah, there it is. That's what the car bed looks like. That's stuff that's going to be this week, so you wouldn't definitely want to miss any of that, would you? I want to give a big shout out and thank you to my patrons and channel members for your support. I wouldn't be able to buy all these amazing outfits in this game if it wasn't for your support, and I really do appreciate it. If you're interested in supporting the channel in that way, the link for that will be in the description. I also stream on Twitch. You should follow me over there. Watch me streaming. I stream some games and stuff, video games, and also join the Discord, guys. The link for those things are in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next video.